We are ready to do the chest press, ladies. So before we get on the stability ball and get into position, the one thing I want to show you, which is hard to show you laying down, is the position of our elbows in space in relation to our torso. So the idea is when you're actually laying on the stability ball in position and pressing up, you want your elbows to be about halfway between at your sides and at shoulder level. So this is considered 90 degrees here, where the elbow's in line with the shoulder, and this would be kind of considered 0 degrees. So our goal is to be somewhere between 45 and 60 degrees. So somewhere in here, kind of like you're flapping like a chicken. But this is the position that you're gonna be in while we're pressing like this, okay? So hopefully that helps. So to get into position, what you're gonna wanna do is have your stability ball handy, and then you're going to put your dumbbells, if you can put them vertically, we're gonna put those on either side of the ball so that we can grab them in a second. Then you're gonna go ahead and sit on your stability ball and grab your dumbbells and have them on the tops of your thighs. From there, you're going to walk your feet out and let your back gradually lay down on the ball until your neck and your upper back are supported by the ball. And you can shift and play around a little bit with that to find what's best for you. My platform's a little small, so I really should have been a little further back so I could have walked out a little further. So this is good right here. So you've got your weights here on your hips. You've got your head resting on the ball. Now you want to pull the dumbbells up so that they're kind of just resting on your chest to start with. You're going to press your hips up. So if you look at my glutes, you're gonna press your hips up so that you don't have a crease at your hips anymore, okay? This is gonna be a lot of work for the leg muscles, which is great. So this is the position you're gonna try to hold. Pull the shoulder blades in and down the back. That's gonna help stabilize your upper body, as well as help you to have your weight and the dumbbells and your body on top of your shoulder blades rather than on the more flexible bones of the rib cage. From there, we're going to bring our upper arms with our elbows out a little bit, right to that, kind of halfway point between our torso and our shoulders. And then to bring the dumbbells out, you're gonna pull them out so that they're almost over your elbows. And I'm gonna show all this to you guys from another angle in a second so you can see other things better. So basically our hands are almost directly over the elbows with the dumbbells. We've got our shoulder blades pulled in and we've got our hips pressed up. From there, to do the movement, keeping the neck nice and relaxed, remember we're trying to use our chest muscles here, we're going to press straight up, the elbows will straighten and in. We're gonna bring the dumbbells close in together, they'll almost touch, and really squeeze the pec muscle at the top. And then reverse the movement, we're gonna slowly lower, letting the elbows bend, and they'll come back behind the torso a little bit. Then back up, pressing up and in, squeezing at the top here. You'll notice the bottom position here is about mid-chest height. Let's go ahead and do a few. Hi, I'm Rizelle. If you're a woman in your over 40s like myself and you've been really wanting to do resistance training at home, you know that you should do it as you get older, but you've really felt overwhelmed with how to do it properly. In addition to what you see here, where I really break down how to do the movement, on my website I also go even further. I show you mistakes to avoid, different variations, ways to make it easier and harder. If you like my style of teaching and that sounds good to you, come on over to my website at inspirefulwomen.com. Now from this angle, hopefully you can kind of see where my elbows are and then the path that my arms move through. So I press up and in, close together, and squeeze the pecs at the top and then reverse back down. And you can see my elbows come behind my torso a little until they hit the ball. Now keep in mind, only let them go behind your torso as far as is comfortable for you. So you can always stop in line with the torso. That's not a problem. You want to make sure that you're not feeling any discomfort or pain when you come back a little further. Now also keep in mind that the hands are kind of over the elbows in this starting position versus being like that, right? So we're kind of keeping them, and what you want to really think about is it's really more about the upper arm. Did you know there's two parts of our arm? I used to think an arm was just an arm, but there is an upper arm, which is this part, and a lower arm. So this movement, it's not really about just bringing the hands in, it's really about bringing this upper arm up and in, and then this part of our arm is just going with it. So if you can see, my hands, they kind of stay in line with the elbow the whole time. So I'm not kind of doing that, I'm pressing straight up and in, and it's this elbow thing in my upper arm that's bringing in, and that's working the chest muscles. Now the last thing we need to talk about is how to get out of this position. How do we get out of this? We want to put the dumbbells down safely. This is a little trickier because of the position we're in. We might be using a slightly heavier dumbbell with this. So a couple options. The first one that I think is kind of easy, I'm going to turn my palms so that they're facing each other first of all, and they're kind of just like, you can have them resting kind of on your chest or here on your shoulders, so keeping a nice bent elbow, keep the elbows close to the body, okay? And then one way is just to kind of roll forward, you know, flexing here at the hips, and then just we're close to the ground now, right? So I think this is probably going to be one of the easiest ways. Now the other option would be, especially if the weight's not too heavy, would be to, you know, we're here, bring the weights in to the chest, then unbend the elbows and let the weights come down to the hips here, and then holding them here, now you can roll up on the ball, walking your feet back. In this position, it's okay if our spine is bending because the weight is not on our chest, right? It's out here on our hips. So then we can roll up and get out of position, okay? What you don't want to do is have the weights here on your chest and be rolling up like this, okay? That's not going to be too healthy for the spine. So I do think going like this is probably going to be one of your best bets. Thanks for being with me today, ladies. Once again, I'm Razel, and if you are a woman in your over 40s like myself, and you'd like to do full-length workouts using these movements, that's what I create. And additionally, they're done in beautiful outdoor nature settings like this with chill music, and we don't do a bunch of jumping around. So if that sounds good to you, come on over to my website at inspirefulwomen.com.